Hello miners, Rusty coming at you, and today I got a knife from Tang. And I bought this knife from Tang because I wanted to give it a go. So as usual, this is a rattlesnake design, and this is the SL, if my eyes can read, 25, the SL-25. And I'll go over to why I bought this knife in a little bit, but mostly I dig the fidgetability. I wanted to try something with a flipper that's out on this end, not really on top, but kind of right in the front. This also has the front flipper, it has thumb deployment, and it has, well, the finger flick. It's got a nice flat ground blade in D2 steel, and Sixleaf does a pretty decent job with that, I think, and they do a pretty nice job with the sharpening as well. Sixleaf's coming a long ways here, considering the age of the company, just a couple years from what I can gather. And in that time, they've acquired some other designers like Jelly Jerry, and now I see a night morning design. But Rattlesnake has good design flow. And what I mean, I can kind of recognize some of his other knives in here. And one thing, if you've had a rattlesnake knife, very common, in my opinion, is the ergos. And this is no exception. It's really built well. It's got a chunky handle, but it fits nicely as far as the ergos go. So it's got this really nice, in fact, I compare it to a hammer. It feels like, I'm not kidding, just like a hammer that you would use on construction. So we have, it's got nice thick liners and a back spacer. Nice when you go to deploy it like this, your thumb gets in there really nicely. I want to say it's the shape of that hole, how it gets kind of wide right there. And notice this flow. So when you push, your thumb doesn't bump into it there. It kind of gets narrow when you go down. And then it's got a nice design. When you go to front flip it, you just follow, and it's really easy. In fact, see if I can do it here. This is the first knife, let's see if I can get her done, that I was able to, I was doing it to do the, with the finger. Now, on this one, when you go, you have to get off. If you, so to speak, push button this, you're going to bump into yourself. So you got to be aware of that. So we've talked about the deployments. We talked about the ergos. Let's take a peek at the lockup. Could be a little better. It's thick liners. I would like to see that come over a little more. You can see some laddering in there. Still a relatively, for the size, I guess I'll say it's light, but it's a big knife. It did have some blade wobble when I got it. I tightened it down and it hasn't come back. It's got what I would call pretty good micarta. Some contouring here. We got contouring along the edge here. And we got good access to the lock bar. I think you guys can see that. The drop is not drop shutty like a Twosun, but it's just a couple shakes and it drops. Some jimping on top, kind of interesting. Look where my fingers fall, look where my thumb falls. Like I said, I think Rattlesnake does a nice job. And I've always kind of been impressed with his blade geometry. I have a knife, you'll have to go back and see, the ratchet knife, and this was one of the sliciest knives that I've had. So I like that. This whole blade shape, we got that belly, And if you remember looking at, I think it's the SL-08, that big knife with the translucent handles, has a nice handle shape for using it a lot like in a kitchen and so on. So let's take a peek here. Another reason I got this knife is because this one is a favorite carry of mine, and that is the Devo Growler version 1. And this knife, believe it or not, has some similarities in my opinion. One, you can flick on the thumb hole. Two, you know, you got that thumb hole there. This knife is thinner. I want to tell you what, this knife right up here does not curve like, see how the angle doesn't come right here, it shoots off, and this one shoots up. But just the same, we have full flat grinds. We have a finger choil on this, and over here we got that flipper tab that allows that. This does not drop. It doesn't have a drop point per se as much as the Kubi or the Vagrant here. Oh, excuse me. The Growler, the Devo Growler. It's a little bit longer, and see if you guys can see any similarities there. There. Devo is going to have a thinner blade stock, which will add to its sliceability. But this knife, if you guys are looking for a little bit bigger knife, well, I don't know, a little bit more of a working style, it is a bigger knife. It is a thicker knife, and I think 40 bucks on Amazon. So actually the pocket clip on this is good. I switched this factory pocket clip out with a Kaiser. So we'll close these up, compare the thickness here. So it's a lot thicker, and we'll compare them this way. Let's see how I can hold these for you guys. I think I might as well just set them down. Try to get on top there. All right, we've gone on long enough. Thanks for joining the miner. My dog is just up here hunting free. And if you heard any noises, I got some mountain bikers making a loop on these jumps down here. We're both out here enjoying our evening. Hope you guys are having a great one. Thanks now. Bye.